Yes, we're back to the unrestricted view, and it's the two Ronnies again, mate. You want you're smiling. Feeling a bit lonely these days, mate. Nobody else wants to talk to us.
Oh.
How have you been since the last time I spoke to you? As you can see, mate, I've lost my carpet. Looking a bit more fresh. Don't know if that's everybody's opinion right enough, but I feel fresh. I feel a bit more energised, a bit more refreshed, definitely. Hope you're well, mate. I hope everything's okay since the last I spoke to you, which was what? A couple of hours ago.
Yesterday. That was last game, innit? When was the last time we had pies, Jack? Yesterday.
When was the last time we had pies? Tam, could you go up, aye? Whatever, there's no Tam here, there's nobody else here. Waiting on another voice coming on there going, aye. Come back tomorrow and get out of there. Couple of good topics to get through. Obviously, Big Ange, back to land down under. It's a famous song that as well, Men at Work. Just like us, mate, Men at Work. Definitely, but Big Ange, obviously, his quotes were, we lost to St Mirren, he had to go out of the country. More or less he done a disappearing act. But it wasn't like the midnight money Mr. Rogers did to us when he decided to leave us watching Sky Sports News that day when he was walking down the trackside at the King Power Stadium. And we didn't have a clue. We just thought he went out for bread and milk, I think it was, wasn't it? And before you know it, he's signed a new deal with another club. What's going on there? But thankfully, Big Ange didn't do that to his ring. And he was only over promoting the Sydney Cup for us. I don't really know what to think about this Sydney Cup, to be honest with you, Ryan. I know it's approaching quite fast, but I don't know what I think yet. I know Ange, he's been well documented in saying he's a big Liverpool supporter.
Mm-hmm.
So, or he was a Liverpool fan when he used to watch with his dad and when he was younger, etc. So I think he's kind of chomping at a bit, looking for the Everton game, mate. What's your thoughts on the Sydney Cup itself, mate? And as I say, I hope you've been well.
Aye, all right, mate. Obviously, it's good to get back to talk about Celtic. There's only so much you can talk about Scotland. You end up just nitpicking at things just to try and get a conversation for the podcast as well. So, Celtic's back, obviously, mate. So, looking forward to the weekend as we'll go on the pod. In terms of Sydney Cup, you kind of forget about it because it's been a while since obviously it got announced, pre-season, and then obviously now into the season. It's only really new you start thinking about it, right? The World Cup's coming up soon, then you've got that. So we don't know what squad's going to turn up to it because obviously some of the Scotland boys will maybe go. But again, this is more obviously to talk closer to it. But I think in terms of guys like McGregor, etc., they might not even play. They might travel maybe for the thing, but they might not play. But I think as well, obviously, with Rangers no going anywhere, I'm more saying it takes gloss off it. It's just kind of, because that was the thing to start with it. Why we doing it? Should we be doing it? Why are they coming? Why are we going? But we all know why now, why we're going. So, obviously, it'd be good for Australia to see what I would call our superstars, i.e. Jota, Kyogo, etc., Cal McGregor. If they do play, that is, we don't know what type of squad's going to play because we don't know. Again, I don't really know the full dates of the World Cup. If it clashes with them, I don't really know. Being honest, I probably should know, but I've not really, because the Scotland's on the World Cup, I've not really been paying attention to the dates, etc. So, again, will we have a lot of young boys playing? Because we don't know if guys like Juranovic, obviously, if they were with Croatia, etc., who will be there to play the match. Obviously, Joe Hart will be here, Seedless will be here, so you will have some first team guys playing. Again, it'd be good as well for maybe some of the young guys to get experience. I wouldn't say European football, but it'll be like a European game. They're going to be travelling, overnight stays, etc., etc. So it'll be good for maybe young boys to go get some experience because let's be fair, whatever happens result-wise in it, mate, you're not really bored because it is really just a friendly tournament for Ange to go back and celebrate his home country. So again, but it's probably going, obviously financial will be good for us because obviously the ticket sales and you're going to get more people viewing the match. People might become Celtic fans. Everton fans are going to see EU players, etc., etc. So I think it's, again, I think maybe the interest, I'm not saying interest is cooled, but because I don't think it's getting mentioned much here, maybe getting back to the way we promote Scottish football, it doesn't get promoted enough. This hasn't been really spoken about. So, but now obviously it'll gather pace. Obviously, Ange went. They disappearing that. They did go, not because of defeat, they did go because they promote this. It's obviously planned. But aye, mate, I don't know what you think about it, but I do think it's obviously closer in the match. Will maybe gauge who's going to go, and then we can maybe talk a bit more about it. But I think in terms of for Ange, it's obviously a massive thing. He's get back home. He's get home so far a success. So he'll be able to say, this is my squad, this is the trophies we've won, this is he's probably going to, I don't think he'll treat it as a friendly tournament, but I think he'll treat it as he wants to go and show his philosophy, his brand of football, what he's done here, and put it towards his crowd. I think that's the way, again, I'm only thinking as a fan from what I've seen from him and the way he talks, the way he acts. I don't think he'll see it as a friendly match. I think he'll want to go there and do, I wouldn't say Celtic justice, but he's self-justice to say, listen, this is what I'm doing in Europe now. You need to watch me, you need to watch my team. But I think it will be good, mate. I think as well, so obviously some fans will be able to go to Australia for here. Some fans will obviously pay the money and go and enjoy themselves in Australia. So I think, I don't really, the only negative I would say is obviously the travelling. That, because of the time of year. Obviously, but football was stopped for the World Cup, so it's not really going to impact us in terms of form in the league, etc. because of the World Cup. Going to be that time as well. So maybe if it was the World Cup and we were doing it, then you go, why are we travelling all over the world for a friendly? Because even, I know why we do it in the past to Australia, Japan, whatever, etc., etc. They've done it because it's money, it's financially good. In terms of, because I'm sure was it under Gordon Stratton or was it Mowbray? I can't remember. Was it Stratton? Might be, or Lennon. I think it was Lennon actually. They went to Australia. I'm like, that's bonkers. Like, you can all the way the world for a friendly, but in America they went to as well with Lennon. He's as well. So, but you can understand it financially. Maybe gain more brand and more fans. But to be fair, us as a club, we don't really need more brand or more fans. But it just shows you football to another country. But don't know how you feel about it, mate, but I do feel, I want to say, as it stands right now, there's no negatives to it. Until from the past, when it was when I was like, why are Rangers and Celtic going to Australia? Like, what's the point? Because it's not going to be a proper rivalry game. Obviously, when every time we play them, doesn't matter if it's friendlies, five-a-sides, when me and you play each other at dominoes with our mates against, you still want to beat them. That's just the rivalry. That's just what it is. Doesn't matter if it's a drinking game or if it's dominoes, you want to win. But you want to get the fans when they get the full fruits of a Glasgow derby. You want to get two of the best squads playing, as in the obviously in my opinion we're the best squad out of two. But in terms of you want to get your two best 11s fighting each other on the park, it would be with young guys, etc. So I'm kind of glad they're not gone because in terms of it's Ange's homecoming, and so I'm kind of glad they're not gone in that sense. But in that side, sorry, but I think it's just good, obviously, mate, that they've actually went and got a bit of promotion for it, because unless you kind of bring it up yourself, you didn't really see it on Twitter recently, social media. So I'm glad Ange's and the club has went and actually promoted it, because it's brought interest up again, and it's got in the day, mate, it's got me and you talk about it again. So it's got interest in it again.
Yeah, well, that's it, Ryan. It's been hammered home as Ange's homecoming. That's been the highlight of the promotion, I think, right for the word go. For the, it got announced that this was happening and the Sydney Cup was taking place, etc. Obviously, a certain team was invited, and then they threw their toys at the pram when they realised it was promoted as Ange's homecoming. Apparently, they didn't like the aspect of it being a Glasgow derby rather than what they like to call the Old Firm. Hence why we saw specific banners at a specific stadium with Old Firm more or less right round the stadium. And then was it the day after the game? There was other photos emerged of the banners being binned. So they must have paid quite a lot of money in terms of getting the cardboard banners made up for then that to be binned. After realising that your team were again a shambles and lost the game, and obviously the result didn't go your way. But my thoughts personally on it, mate, was just the fact that I've not really thought about it until now, because now it's getting nearer. Now it's coming close. A lot of our players, obviously a few of our players are going to be going to the World Cup. I mean, in terms of still guys like Callum McGregor. Now, obviously that doesn't worry me, because Callum McGregor plays 90 minutes every game, probably. What is it? He plays about 500 games a year, give or take. I think he plays 90 minutes even in a testimonial match. I think he then goes away and he'll maybe play 2 hours or 5-a-side with his mates on a Wednesday night or something, and then he gets home and probably spends about 3-4 hours playing FIFA on the PlayStation. The guy's just football relentless. I would imagine that's, I'm not saying that's what Callum McGregor does, by the way, I'm only having a laugh here. He's just football mad in terms of he plays every single game. The fitness level of the guy is unbelievable. So I do think they'll go. Scotland obviously haven't made the World Cup. Cheers for highlighting that, mate. When you mentioned that to begin with, McGregor, I'll be going to that instead of that. So there's a way with your wee dig here, mate. Know what I mean? But no, the Scottish boys, I think they'll obviously enjoy it as well, because it means they get to go and experience actually Australia. Some of them maybe have no been to that the land of Oz before, and and seen that side of the world. I think the whole thing, Ryan, just shows where Celtic are in the football world, mate. First and foremost, obviously, Ange is a big pulling as to why they've been invited, but Celtic being invited for a second time, or however many times they've been invited, but as you said, they were there with Lennon's team. So they're obviously being invited along again. So for that to happen, then it just shows you where we are in the football world. We're not as small as other pundits and media outlets would make you believe, or try and make you believe. My thoughts on it, I think it's brilliant, to be honest with you, mate. I think it gives us a chance to go and showcase what we are as a brand in terms of Celtic. Gives us another chance to showcase their talent. Probably the only thing I'm not looking forward to is like, say, some of our boys that are good players, really quality players, get to showcase their talents, and therefore could be away in the January window, or could be away, I doubt they'll be going to Australia. I don't mean that. I doubt Australia, the A-League or anything like that, will be able to attract any of our guys, but if they keep performing the way they are, I mean, Celtic they're going to have to put more than barricades up at Celtic Park, I think, the next time, because there's going to be a lot of suitors after our players, and then obviously negotiations start there, and then that's a process itself as well. So we understand as well that Ange is well underway in terms of preparations for the January window, and he's been proactive, mate, because obviously he must think that the way we're performing, even in the Champions League, the way we've performed so far, he must think that, I mean, he's not a silly man. He certainly doesn't come across as it. So I don't know what your thoughts are, but I think he's been proactive in terms of, he's looking at the January window saying, right, I'm going to get a potential lot of suitors for some of my boys here. I'm going to receive emails or phone calls, etc. So I need to be ready. And I'd imagine he's dressed up like Goldberg at the Mighty Ducks with his hat and his elbow pads and shin pads and everything on, trying to find out for the interest he's going to have for parts of his squad, mate.
I think that's something, mate, I think we need to be realistic of in terms of the future, because our players are again, people might think, right, in the day, see, our opinions, mate, it's just opinions. We might be right, people might think we're full of guff, people might think, you did our spot on. It's just opinions, mate. This is why we love football. And in my opinion, just about every Celtic player starting 11 is at least worth £10 million or more. Maybe no Joe Hart because of his age. Take away Steve. I'm not talking about guys like Stephen Welsh or like Mickey Johnson, guys who are no playing, they're out on loan, etc. You're starting 11 who you would play strength wise. Vickers for me is in my opinion, Carter Vickers is a Premier League centre back playing with Celtic, in my opinion. Obviously, at Spurs, he had like guys like Eric Dyer ahead of him, Vertonghen for years. Who's the other guy who played with Belgium? No, Belgium. What was his name?
Hazard.
No, they took it back for Spurs. Who were they? Vertonghen.
Alderweireld.
That's it. You had they two.
Vertonghen.
That's it. So he was always out on loan, couldn't get into the squad. And then he went to Bournemouth. He's done well. So I think £6 million what we've got for is a bit of a bargain in my opinion, because obviously Fulham try to get him for the same price as well. And obviously we had to go quick to try and get him. I know one says that might not be the case, but by what you hear on social media and what you see through grapevine, that was one reason why we had to obviously. I know he was always going to want to come, but if Fulham are going to give him 20 or 30 grand more, as much as we're a massive club and we've got Champions League football, these guys have got families. They need to think about that. As much as we don't want to think about that. We just think Celtic, winning leagues, Champions Leagues, big stadium, big fans, etc. But these guys have got mouths to feed, and let's be fair, players are going to start going for more money now because, listen, as much as these guys get paid a lot of money, in terms of, I think I said it to you, I can't remember who it was. It was actually a podcast with Paul Merson I watched, and he says people moan about football players, Ronaldo, Messi getting 350 grand a week, etc. Tom Cruise gets £70 million a film. He might only do 2 films a year, but that's a lot of dough. In terms of some football, I know football players get more money on their brand, etc. But guys at Celtic, like Scott Brown was supposed to own 30 and a wee, whatever it was, right? Take away your tax JP. I know this is going to sound bad considering what's happening in the world right now, but 50 grand a week, it's a lot of money, but compared to what his salary, these guys have got high mortgages, kids as well. That's just all comes with being a football player. That's your lifestyle. So they need to get as much money as they can. So we need to be realistic. Guys like Juranovic, for me, he's top draw. What we go for, phenomenal. If he's a good World Cup, he's going to have more suitors. Because I know papers can put out links for no reason sometimes, etc. But 9 times out of 10 now, when it says Newcastle interested or Arsenal interested, most of the time now there's a wee bit of hearsay about it might be true, it might not be true. So Vickers, for me, if he keeps playing the way he's playing, he's going to go up for America more often. That again showcases his skills, which is good for us because we all know these guys, Jotas and your Kyogos, obviously, unless they want to be here forever, then that's up to them. But in terms of money-wise, sometimes we might need to go, right, strike when the iron's hot. Maybe summer. I know we've still got good money for Edward, etc. In terms of what I still believe that the season, as much as we wanted to keep Edward, we've all said now, me and you have said, mate, on the podcast, I don't know what some other fans think. Maybe we should have sold me before when the iron was hot, because obviously we didn't know about COVID then. We didn't know we were going to be losing money and no crowd. We didn't know about that. But £17 million obviously was still good considering the length of his contract left. But we probably could have got £30 million from him, in my opinion. I still think he's a quality player. I know he's not really done much at Paris, but I still think he was superb. But I agree with you, mate, that we need to be realistic in terms of maybe no January. Teams might test a lot of us because I still believe, barring mishaps again, this could come back and bite me in the arse. I'd expect us to be top of the league by Christmas. I would. That's me based on facts and what I think about the team. And we've had one blip in a year. Basically, one blip roughly in a year. One defeat roughly. So you can't really criticise the team too much. So, but mate, in terms of suitors, I think we're going to, again, I just need to hammer it home. We need to be realistic. We still are a selling club. I know we didn't sell any big hitters this year, but eventually we will need to sell somebody again. That's just the way it is. That's just football business. It's a Celtic in a business.
Yeah, we
need to bring in money. We need to sell. We need to bring money in, and we need to sell money. In terms of sell players to get that in as well. So it's just the way we are, mate. Especially with the economy now. So I think guys like your Matt O'Reilly's, the more they play international football, they're going to get interest. They're going to get more value. Aye, so I would say in terms of value-wise, mate, I think next year you will get suitors, but it does mean you need to sell them. It doesn't mean you need to sell them, but somebody will test the water, and you know these big clubs doing South IP. I think the January the summer window there about O'Reilly interest and Juranovic interest, Jack and Marcus suppose interest. That might have just been testing water to say, right, what's Celtic's resolve here? Will they hold out for this? Right, fuck it, we'll try in January again. Right, fuck it, we'll try in the summer again, because there's only so much when teams personally you can know what, that's a good offer. But I don't want I'm like you, mate. I don't want any of these players to go unless it's going to be like I said earlier to you. Cal McGregor, right? If Calvin Phillips is going for 60 million, whatever it was, 50 million to Man City, Declan Rice is quoted £100 million, David Moyes says you never leave him for that. So what is a Celtic captain who's playing in the Champions League? He's playing with Scotland, and for me, he's probably pound for pound. Like I said before, take away Jota, who's a special talent. It might not be like I guess Murray was good, but he didn't start the game. But wingers are inconsistent. Abada for me, if he gets his delivery sorted, his final. I know that sounds dark because he scored goals against Rangers, etc. But consistently, if he gets his delivery and he's crossing, etc., spot on, he's no here. He's off. For me, Abada's superb. I think sometimes he doesn't get the justified credit he deserves sometimes, just because he's a young guy.
I would agree with that.
But in terms of value, JP, I think you've got a lot of. In terms of value, I think you've got a lot of good. If you need to sell players, I think you've got a lot of value to sell, because the way, like you say, Ange already highlighting January, he could already have 2 gents for Japan or Australia lined up already. Because look at Newcastle, they've pre-contracted a boy for January for Australia, so who's to say that may not be in 2 or 3 weeks' time? Aye.
No, and listen, we can only go on experience as well in the way Ange works, because on Hogmanay there, he had 3 Japanese lads all signed and they were announced. So Idaguchi, Daisen Maeda and Rio Hatate. So no, you wouldn't put it past Ange being that proactive that, you know, as soon as the window opens or whatever, there's players announced right away. In terms of the squad, I think you're spot on, mate. I think that Ange has built a team now that's littered with quality, and they're now showcasing that in the top flight of Europe now. In terms of the highest level you can go in club football, so they're now showcasing that against really decent teams. Because teams that are in the Champions League, man, you know yourself, mate, they aren't average. They're no average. You're mentioning players there that are going for funny money in terms of Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice. So in my opinion, mate, you're better with Jara Ambrosia Rice, man, because he is absolutely murder Polish. Compared to Callum McGregor, he's honestly. And Calvin Phillips, you're better with a Phillips screwdriver. He's more handy. You know what I mean? McGregor, in my opinion, mate, is miles ahead of that. Miles ahead of that. Now, I'm not saying that boy Phillips isn't a good player. I'm no doubting that. Phillips is better than Rice. And McGregor's better than the two of them. So that doesn't really say too much for Declan Rice. You mentioned the guy earlier on, I know, Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Carter Vickers couldn't get a game for him. I mean, Tottenham are playing Eric Dyer before him.
But that shows you, JP, how good
he's got the right. He's got the right second name.
How good are they two boys in?
But that's what I'm saying. But he's got the right second name.
He's fucking diarrhea.
Absolute Dyer. Better with Kieran Dyer.
Better with fucking Danny Dyer.
Danny Dyer. There you go. And his daughter, Danny Dyer.
His daughter, aye.
But in all seriousness, mate, I mean, that's just the guys that you're comparing. We get the luxury of senior boys every week, and they're now showcasing that against better opposition and quality. All right, and none of them turned up against St Mirren. We know that, right? That's gone now. We move on, and just as I say that, we move on. We're moving on to Motherwell, who, in my opinion, have got better they're playing a better brand of football under their new manager. Stevie Hamill's got them playing some really good football. You can see now that they've got a better of an identity in the way that they want to go about things, the way they want to do. I think the big lad up front for them, Van Veen's on a bit of form. I know they signed the boy Louis Moult before the window shut, but in terms of that, my understanding is he's not kicked a ball yet because is he not 100% fit or something?
I think he came on off the bench, but I don't think he's played a lot of football.
Right, okay. But he's not played a lot of football, am I right in saying that?
Aye.
Right, okay. So he's missed a fair bit as well. Parkhead's not a venue, mate. You want to just be chucked in at the deep end and, that's you getting tossed in with the crowd, in with the people, and in to try and do your stuff. I think Celtic will have a bit between their teeth. I think they'll certainly take the game to Motherwell. Celtic will be wanting to build momentum now, getting into this run of games that we're going to have now. We're going to have a lot of games in a quick succession. Now we've got 11 games in over 30 days or something. It's a lot of football in terms of the schedule and players' recovery and maybe obviously Ange has seen this coming, which is why he's built that big squad. In terms of that big squad, Brian, another point I want to make is we're now hearing a lot of injuries are creeping in now. So you started off with maybe one injury, two injuries, but now the international breaks came and you're hearing me murmurs and this one's injured and that one's injured and that. We don't know how, because obviously we've not heard from Ange, I know Celtic got a training video out today. And I've not seen it yet. I've not managed to see it. I've been busy today. So I wonder who's kind of present in that video. And it'll be interesting to see because obviously Turnbull was sent to him with Scotland. We heard Maeda limped off for an injury. Askabanovic limped off for an injury. Giacomakis never kicked a ball for Greece. I don't know if he played. Did Greece play? Did every one of the internationals all play 3 games, same as Scotland?
I think so, mate. Aye, roughly, aye. I think so. Give or take.
Because Scotland only played. The reason I ask that, Ryan, is because Scotland and the Ukraine last Wednesday was the only 2 on the card. So that's how I was asking that. They were the only 2 that played that extra game that night.
I probably should know, mate, but I definitely know there was 2 Nations League rounds.
Right.
But
we'd actually 3 then if you count the Ukraine.
Aye.
We played them twice.
Aye.
So effectively we played them home and away in the space of a week. But I'm sure the Wednesday night game that we played the Ukraine it was just us in the Ukraine. That's how the game was on ITV4 as well.
Right.
So, and then after that, getting into the Saturday, or was it the Thursday? I think it was like the Thursday night, the Friday, the Saturday, just stumbled on.
There's always games like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it's all different groups and all that, isn't it?
But I think you might be right in terms of the rest. We might have played 3 games, but other teams played 2. Well, anyway, Giacomakis never played the second game, and I don't know if he played the first game, and that's what happened to him. He got injured or he pulled up before it or whatever. Askabanovic stretchered off after 32, 33 minutes in his game.
Aye, roughly.
Abada was supposed to be touch and go for Israel's second game, but then that got cancelled because obviously they played Russia, or they were meant to play Russia, should I say. So Abada then played with under 21s, but he played the game. He was taken off after a period of time. Then you look at the Japanese lads, Kyogo. I think Kyogo only played 45 minutes of football. Hatati never even got a game, so hopefully he'll be fresh and ready to go. But it just shows you how easy things are, Ryan. When you go away and how easy it is in international football for players to travel and then they get hurted and they come back, and before you know it, mate, your squad's, as much as you think you've recruited well in the summer, then your squad starts to come down to bare bones because, like we know ourselves, Starfelt was injured, Carter Vickers is injured, so you're left with Stephen Welsh and Mortis Jens. Moric, should I say? Sorry, correct myself there before I'm pulled up on any, in case anybody pulls me up for it. Moric, but I think personally, mate, and it's a massive worry going into Saturday and then going into Wednesday night, that we have got, or maybe going to have to play Stephen Welsh. I think it's a big worry. I'm not saying the boy's a bad player. He doesn't bring to the team that Starfelt or Carter Vickers brings to the team, which is stability, strength, and a bit of physicality. And obviously the two boys can play as well. Welsh, I think, is a bit more naive and a bit more lightweight in terms of his challenges, and he's easy knocked off the ball. We've seen that against St Mirren, and that, I'm afraid, can then become a target when you're going to be playing up against guys like Van Veen, who's going to be physical. Even Louis Moult can be physical as well. He's a big lad. And then you've got to look at the other big boys in Leipzig as well. They've got Szoboszlai. They could play Big Poulsen, who's a big lad as well. So, other managers will be looking at that as well, and they'll be thinking that Line's are targeting Stephen Welsh and try to isolate that. Because it is a weakness, right? Let's face it is a weakness. And I think it's a big worry if both Starfelt and Carter Vickers are going to be unavailable for Saturday coming, and then obviously going into Wednesday night, mate.
I think obviously for me, again, you honestly do try your best to know, really criticise players or their ability, because in the day, I'm talking about them. I didn't make it to their level, so, but as a fan, you can all give your opinion. Stephen Welsh is a steady Eddie backup. Obviously, he's a backup. That's why he's fourth, fifth choice, whatever. New fourth choice, probably say fifth choice, but you try and no think about it too much now, because obviously Stephen Welsh should be able to come in against Motherwell and do a job, because at Celtic Park, we have messed the ball. He shouldn't need to do a lot of defending. Obviously, that can change. I don't think against St Mirren, they did a lot of defending, so that just shows you that whatever facts and evidence we've got, it's football, it can change. So,
but then is he available? Is he going to be able to come in against Motherwell? Because we saw his struggles against St Mirren. But then again, the whole team struggled against St Mirren. So
I think the fact that obviously will be at home, full crowd, our tails will be up to try and go and I'm not saying put things right, just get us back on a winning tail again, because obviously that run stopped. It shouldn't really knock confidence out of the team at all, because in the day it's only one defeat. Last year we get beat 3 out of 6 or something, so that shouldn't really come into consideration. Sorry. I do feel that we can buy Stephen Welsh. We spoke about it with obviously Barry Bannon in terms of Rangers missing Bassey. Big weak link for him, having the guys not as good as him.
Yeah.
I know we've not sold any defenders. We've sold Julian, but in terms of Starfelt, Vickers, they bring them Welsh, they're not the same quality. As much as we've got a squad, we did kind of say that it would have been ideal to bring in somebody else. I know there was Jason Denaya's a free agent. I know he's away. He's might be away now to another team. I think it's somewhere abroad. I seen the other day. He could have been somebody can maybe try to nibble. We don't know if that was the case, if that was true about him. Rumours about him, we don't know. But again, this is where you've got to just trust Ange. He's obviously says Welsh is good enough. That's why he's still here. Yep. I don't want to say I fully trust him, but trust Welsh. But he's no a guy who's going to play week in, week out for Celtic. We've seen that, and if he was going to be like that, then he'd be playing the new. So he should be able to go against Motherwell at home, because we will have mace to the ball, I'd like to think. So I'm not really worried too much about the Motherwell game, but again, I'm not want to touch the Leipzig game because it's Motherwell game, but you've got maybe Forsberg, Werner and Poulsen.
Even that, you've got the boy in Kunku as well.
Exactly. In fact, is Poulsen still there?
I think he is, Ryan. I think he's still there, but I think maybe he's obviously there. You've just labelled 3 really good players.
If Poulsen's not there bad, I'd say to you the other day about this. You've got Forsberg, Werner, and then Kunku.
Szoboszlai as well.
But just on
Have they still got the big boy Silver?
I'm not sure, mate.
And the Silver or Andy Silver or
I'm
whatever.
not sure, mate. But obviously, leading up to the game next week, we'll obviously look at mid into but their team, as it said, a bit because I can remember I've been to the Leipzig away from home, and obviously been to games at home, and even Werner was there, and Forsberg was there, and Kunkel wasn't he? But they three are top. They three are top draw players, right? I know.
Yeah.
We've said it on this podcast how much we think Jack and Marcus and Kyogo are very, very, very good.
Yeah.
These three are a step up to them. That shows you how the step in class of the Champions League.
Yeah.
That, for me, people might say, Ryan, I don't agree with you. That's fine, but my opinion is, from a fan watching football as a neutral, Timo Werner's a very, very good player. Didn't really do well at Chelsea, but he's a very, very good player.
Yeah. Very fast as well.
Nkunku didn't really do well against Rangers last year in the Europa League, but he's a very, very good player for Leipzig. Players have off days. And Forsberg's phenomenal. I think he's a cracking player. He doesn't always play for them for the start, but he is a very good player. And I've pulled some story on it there about my research. Again, he's really good. So they've got a massive squad. But I own the Motherwell game, mate, with Stephen Welsh. I'm not too bored much about Welsh playing against Motherwell, but we don't know that Leipzig game. I will be a worry, mate. It will be, but obviously we'll touch that on that as it comes. But people. I think us as fans, I'm not actually maybe too cautious about maybe giving teams a bit of jip. I think we're going to store them. I still think we should go and win the game at Celtic Park, 2-3-4-0. But
definitely.
But it's football. We all know the Smurn game maybe gives a wee kick up the arse. Okay, we can't just assume we're going to win games 4-5-0. I'll go undefeated as I maybe say we could. But again, you can only go on facts and what you think your team before the game. Before the game, I know you've got right. Okay, we need to just go and win the game. If it's 1-0, just go and get his 3 points. And it all depends as well the result against Hearts or Rangers. That game, because Sparkers, I'm not going to say spark into life, but if Hearts do get a result, you're going to go, right, win this, we'll go 5 points. It's a wee bit of an edge again, you know what I mean? So,
the thing is as well, when you said there about Hearts, right? See, even if they get a result, the players really know about that because they're sort of then, by that point, they're in the zone and, you know, they're getting ready and geared up for the Motherwell game. So I know as fans getting into Celtic Park and Saturday, they're going to be buzzing. I mean, if that happens, but in terms of the players, I know eventually they'll find out, right? Because obviously I'm not naive enough to think that somebody in there's not going to tell them. But is that something they're going to really look at, or are they just looking to get back to a winning way where they're building momentum again?
Maybe no at this stage of the season, they might not give it as much as a glance, but obviously if you're 2 points for a few games to go, you might go, right, what was your result? Right now we can go on. We know what obviously you need to know what you need to do anyway, you need to win the game. But if you can go, right, okay, they've won or lost, whatever. But I think in terms of Motherwell, they've been doing well under Stevie Hamill. Few good young players as well. In terms of Van Veen, again, they always seem to have strong, powerful strikers, Motherwell, recently. Obviously, Louis Moult was there. Van Veen's there now as well. So, again, Louis Moult's kind of, I'm not saying he's a cult hero at Motherwell, but he done well in his first spell. He's come back. Will he play? Will they put two up front, the two big boys up front? If Louis Moult's fit, we don't know how they're going to play. We all know, as much as we do defend well, teams do normally get at least a chance. This is football. They normally get a chance at Celtic Park. Away from home, they might get more. But this, apart from St Mirren, nobody's really a sniff against us.
Yeah.
So,
they also play that trio, Ryan, and all with the boy Tierney at the top of it. I think it's a boy, is it Sean Goss?
He played the Rangers.
Yeah, played with him as well, that's right. He's on the left side of it. I can't remember who the other boy is, but it's worked really well for them under Hamill, as you were saying there. Obviously, they found a bit of form. But that trio has worked really, really well. So you don't know if they would go with that, or do you think St Mirren have set out the template? Do you think teams are now going to have to follow that kind of model? Or?
See, I think it's probably, I don't want to say Ange has learned a lot because he's probably just learned not to make so many changes anymore. But I think in terms of I know, listen, JP, you played football, I played football. A lot of Celtic fans have played football, male and female, because obviously women football is booming now, and some females are in it now, so some of them know the game as well now. So, in terms of us, if it's all, I think it's all about us. But we all know football. We should be able to. Doesn't matter if it's Livingston, St Mirren, Motherwell. We should have the capabilities to break them down at Celtic Park. And I love here home. The parks are tighter. The crowd's on your back. Against St Mirren, St Mirren is quite a big park, but the stadium's enclosed. These things can affect bodies, low blocks, high blocks, blah blah blah. So, but like I say, we should be able to break down these things at Celtic Park with the crowd behind you and the way we play. Some of the squad will be fresh. So, but we all know, JP, when teams do park a bus, it doesn't matter if it's amateurs, juniors, Lowland League, SPL, Champions League. It is hard to break them down when it's just a back line of fucking 10. It is hard.
Sometimes it's 2 buses, isn't it?
Aye. So, but...
Especially Benigno.
Aye, I know. But you should be able to get at least a chance. Again, I'm not wanting to come out and say we're going to win my cricket score or anything, but you should be going to Celtic Park against Motherwell. Right, we've been beat. But a good international break. Some guys have had good performances. I know we've had some injuries, but you've still got guys to come in, because obviously Aaron Moy played 90 minutes. I think 2 minutes for Australia as well. So he's played more minutes for him as well. You've got the what's his name? I can't say his name now. The boy we've signed for Kazan, the midfielder.
Oliver
Abelgard, that's it. Could he come in and play a part as well? So, is this a chance for James Forrest to get himself back to the team? Because of Maeda might not be playing, is Ibarra going to be playing, Hasebanovic, Jota probably because he's been fresh. Is this maybe a game where he puts Forrest in and goes, right, this is a chance? Because he did say that he will eventually get a chance. Is this a game for him to get a chance? He's not really featured a lot, even off the bench, when you're trying to get a goal against St Mirren. Then he came on. In my opinion, that tells you he doesn't trust you to come on and do the job to get a goal. That's just my opinion. I know it's early doors of the season, but if the James Forrest maybe 2 or 3 years ago put him on to get and get a goal, get by a man, get the ball in the box, he didn't put him on at 5 subs. So
he's done it a couple of times as well.
So, but again, that must be hard for Forrest. If he does play on Saturday, I'm just saying he might get a chance. He's no Carl kicked the ball. He's not playing for Scotland. And obviously, I know he'll be fit enough, right? But you know the game, JP, we've all played it. Listen, I'm going to lie. Sometimes I was on the bench for weeks. Sometimes I was on the bench for weeks. And then you're starting. You're going to go, fuck me. You're buzzing to start, but you're like, I've not played. I'm not matched up. Sorry, training and playing games in 5-a-side and rondos at training and you're laughing a joke, you're buzzing out your nut. But when you go and play the actual game, it's hard to go from no playing for weeks and then go boom. Because we've seen it that just shows you the weekend. Some guys have not really played. As much as we think Aaron Moy's a good player, 90 minutes wise, maybe he is better than he was an impact sub because he's been doing well as a sub. So Forrest, will he play? I don't know. I'm just putting that to you, mate. Could there'll be 2 or 3 changes, needed changes, no changes that he's made to obviously for the last game. It's changes that might need to be made. I don't know how fit these guys are, but Motherwell will pose a threat, I think, especially up front. They might target Welsh. I don't know. I don't know if that's us being unkind to Welsh. I don't know. But I just think that if you've got Starfelt and Vickers, you're not going to get as much issues without Welshman there. But it should be good enough against Motherwell. But I will talk about the Leipzig going forward, mate. But I think overall, in terms of Motherwell, you know how they're going to play against you roughly. They will try at least a few counter attacks. That's why Hamilton's been playing with them. I don't really see them sticking a boss like Livingston at home. Because Livingston have no go the guys to go and do that away from home, then go and play attack football and get the balls in the box and try and ruffle up Celtic. They might ruffle them up with a guy up front, big man up front for Livingston.
Van Veen?
No, what's his name? Is it Joe? Is it Doomby? Is that his name? What's his name? Livingston.
You're thinking the big boy for Livy?
Aye, that's what I'm saying. But Motherwell have not got that. Motherwell up and playing some football, like quick football. And,
Aye. I know what you mean. They've not got that kind of manpower to set up.
But Livingston have got that. Teams like Livingston come, the big boy up front will try and cause some hassle. But Livingston will just sit with that. They'll put the ball up to him and try and make him cause hassle. But Motherwell might try and play. And it might cause you a bit, I'm not going to cause you hassle, but it might pose you a threat. So, I think overall it's just go and get the win now. Obviously, we want to see entertainment, you want to see goals, but coming back for a defeat, it's just good to get 3 points. And I've always said, as much as we want goals and we turn up to games think we want to win this and win that, football's just all about winning. I know Ange wants to win entertaining, I know we want that, but sometimes you just need to win the game ugly. If it's a last-minute penalty, a last-minute scrappy goal, just win the game. And again, you've got to be confident, JP, by one defeat's not going to make me think we're going to not get beat, no win against Motherwell at home, because we should be. And I think the team will be, I think Ange will have the team fired. Listen, you kind of let yourselves down, I let you down, you let the fans down, you need to go and put yourself, I'm not saying back out there at the fans, but just put yourself back inside that we are still the top dogs. Don't let that defeat, let the media, let everybody else go, oh, a bit of doubt in Celtic. No, it's a one-off performance. I think that the manager will get that drummed into him all this week in training, and then obviously before the game on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely, mate. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for a bit more zip about us, a bit more tempo, a bit more energy. Right for the off at St Mirren, mate, we were really flat. You could see it after 10 minutes. And when you start off like that, it's always, you're in the back foot straight away, because the tempo's already been set. It's hard to then inject energy. He made the 5 subs. He tried to bring all the flair and all the tempo and everything, everything on. It just didn't work. And everybody, as a collective, weren't at the races that day. They just, for whatever reason, they just weren't there. And that's fair enough. Listen, see if it's only going to happen once a year, then fair enough. You can't really sit and go, oh, well, do you know what, that's unacceptable, because it's not happening that very often. It isn't often. Under Ange, it's not been often Celtic are losing. So maybe at the beginning, when he was still throwing the team together, and we lost 3 out of 6 games, I think everybody was going, well, I hope we've kept the receipt for this big guy. But nobody's thinking like that now. And now there's murmurs and talk now, want to give him long-term contracts, and that's another one, Ryan. You're talking about players getting,
manager
suited after. The manager's going to be there or thereabouts, because he keeps doing well. I know there was everything like Brighton. Ange hasn't even got to Brighton to buy a corner to Piers, man. You know what I mean? He's got bigger fish to fry, in my opinion. And as I say, he's not looking to. I don't think he's not looking to be doing any midnight moonies and no telling us what to do. And I think he's quite humble and alright for the fact that the way we've took to him. I think he thought, especially with us, his mental state at the time would have been, I need to get everybody in here believing in me. That happened quite quickly. In terms of us, we trusted them right for the half. Especially the guys I know that went and done their due diligence and found out a bit more about them. But obviously Eddie Howe wasn't coming. Everybody was all laughing at us at the time, right? And then we bring a guy out for Japan who, I mean, let's face it, a lot of people wouldn't have known who he was.
Well, see, on that, to be fair, I think I'll need to look back at my tweets, mate. But I think I did put a tweet up. I want to say I don't think I slaughtered Ange personally, but I was like, what is the board doing here? I think Macy's all did. Like, where's this guy came from? What is this all about? Who is he? And until I done my research, I was like, what has he done in Europe? I can't mind exactly what my tweet is, but it wasn't. I wasn't saying welcome Ange and welcome this and what a guy we've got. I think I was a bit negative on it. I was like, where's this name came from? Who is he? What has he done? And then you gave research about him in Australia, and obviously we spoke to Harper about him when he got announced, and I was like, wait, this guy's actually no bad. And then you hear Guardiola saying he's brilliant, you're like, right, okay here. And then the first game, you're like, oh, fuck, man, this is... But after but it's true, I think you've watched it as well. we've all Maces have all watched it. Was in the group chat and that we've watched the podcast with him with Sutton and Darryl Curry.
Yeah.
And he was like, I knew I would do well. He's like, I knew I just had to make sure the players knew what I was doing and the fans believed in me. And he believes in himself, mate. That's a big thing. And I don't want fans, because I've said the same as you, I don't want fans going behind JP. What he's talking about, like, listen, the guy, when you do well at a big club like Celtic, as he did say, here, mate, I want to do a big club, which is, it's brilliant that he's come out and saying that, because it's the truth. Celtic are one of the biggest clubs globally in the world. I don't care what anybody says. It doesn't matter if you're playing in Scotland and globally, Celtic are a massive brand and a massive club. He is going to have suitors. Teams will like players. If the manager, I know people don't like talking about him. Rodgers, he was doing well. Leicester thought, right, I want him. It's the same way. It's the same way, Ange.
No, definitely, mate. That's it. And I know we've already seen Paul Slane's linked him with a Liverpool job after Klopp. So I know, obviously. Now I don't know whether Paul Slane's.
No, but I know he's getting. That's the calibre a manager we've got.
Well, that's it. I think what he's more or less trying to say, if Graham Potter has went to Chelsea, you don't tell me Ange can't go and do something similar, or if no, a wee bit higher. Because in terms of the two CVs, Ange's CV totally dwarfs Graham Potter's. And I know Graham Potter's a decent manager, and he's done his trade, and he's done this and he's done that. But in terms of what Ange's done, I mean, Ange's managed at the top level in football, right, in terms of the World Cup. And he took a team who everybody again were all laughing at them. You know, they were laughing at the way they were doing things. They were laughing at how they operated. And he installed what he's done with us. He installed a firm belief that they can go and take the game to anybody. And they went and they beat like Bielsa's Chile, and they were a good side away back then, mate. You know what I mean? So it was he took a game to Holland and all, and they were a ball hair away from a result in terms of that. So, and then obviously you see what he's done with us in quite a short time. I mean, only 12 months ago, mate, he threw a team together that lost 3 games out of 6. This season, mate, we took the game to Real Madrid. We've just won the Champions League for the 14th time. Everybody was going like that. What is he doing, man? He's going to get slaughtered. And I know we get beat 3-0. But you look back at the game, Ryan, it wasn't even a 3-0 game.
No.
So, in terms of what he's, who he is as a person, and what he's done for this club has been nothing short of a miracle plus remarkable. But just mate, obviously come to the last bit of the show, mate. We know obviously we've got small murmurs of players being injured. In my opinion, I think we've still got a big enough squad with enough quality sitting in the wings to come in and actually make an impact and be good enough at home in front of probably a massive crowd to come in and do the job against Motherwell. And when I say do the job, I mean do it comfortably. Now, again, I don't want to get too ahead of myself because people are going to say, why are you saying that when you've lost the last game to St Mirren? But this is a different game. We're at Celtic Park. It's a bigger pitch. If Motherwell need to be right at it again, right for the earth. And I think it was Barry, one of the last podcasts, it says, at the time St Mirren would have to go to the well and back. Most teams are going to have to do that against us, right? That's just it. And St Mirren did have to go to the well and back to get that one, mate. They had to play very well. And it just so happened to marry in where we didn't play very well that day. So that also helped. If we played very well, I don't think St Mirren would have won 2-0. I think they might have got a draw. But I think if Celtic were bang at it the way they were at Tannadice, then St Mirren could have been in trouble. But you look at Tannadice and then you look at St Mirren, it's night and day in terms of performance. So, but it also shows you how quickly things can change as well when you take maybe your eye off the ball or you're maybe just not at it. the full team wasn't at it, so you can't just go up with him or it was him or it was him. But in terms of Saturday, mate, what you most looking forward to overall, and obviously, what's your thoughts in terms of potential lineup and shape of the team?
I think it's just good to get Celtic back, mate, and you're back into competitive action. Again, I know we're a Scotland fan, but there's only so much you can talk about in terms of Scotland. You want your club football back, you want to go to games. Just getting the 3 points, mate, is obviously the first and foremost. Performance, obviously, you want a good performance, but you just, at this stage of the season, it is just about getting wins and getting 3 points on the board. You want to win 9-0 and you want to play well. You want, as a football fan, you want to win as much goals as you can. But now it's just getting back 3 points and just get that. I'm mostly getting the winning feeling back because I've won basically all season, but just get back on track again in terms of 3 points. So I think the team normally packs itself, but with injuries wise, again, even you're talking about the squad, right? You've got guys like McCarthy still there. You know what I mean? So in terms of if like Hatate or Riley or even Turnbull, who if they were injured and couldn't play, I would still trust McCarthy playing day well against Motherwell because he's still an experienced player. He's still a good player in my opinion. I don't think he's just not had the chance because of the quality ahead of him.
Yeah.
For me, McCarthy is a good player. I know he's given it in pre-season, that gave a go away and stuff, but he is still a good player at this level, in my opinion. So even if he come in and played against Motherwell, would I be bothered? No. Farron Moy plays again for the board? No, because that's the thing. Again, mate, I'm probably the same, mate. Some of us have got short memories, right? Aaron Moy, for 2 or 3 games when he's most a sub, he's played well. He starts has one bad game and now he's a bad signing.
But he wasn't the only one that had
I'm just highlighting how short memories.
I know.
Listen, I've been the same. I've said that it's like this is what this probably puts in its perspective, right? Jack Kennedy at Celtic was no good enough, right? He's went to I think the team he went to was done okay, but then they've let him go and he's went to another team. He played well for Scotland, granted, but new fans are saying, was he one we let go too early? No, because at the time he wasn't good enough. He was doing fucking zoomies at fucking Firhill. He was doing zoomies like Husky. Oh no. I'm all getting pound me pipe for the guy. And then, I mean, so listen, I'm not saying he's a bad player. He has progressed and he's playing with Scotland, doing something that I didn't do. But at the time, it wasn't good enough. You can only look at the time. Just because somebody's doing well on your foot, that's why I'm going to let go. Aye, but at the time, it was no good enough for Celtic. It's as simple as that. It's like supposing Michael Johnson's doing well now in Portugal, get man of the match, he's doing well, right? But at the time at Celtic, you couldn't imagine him getting that performance he's done him. But if he's away and comes back and he does well, you go, right, brilliant. We've got the guy who we know can play. We just need him to implement that and play with us. So you can only talk about at the time. So that's what I'm saying in terms of Aaron Moy.
You've experienced that firsthand, mate, with Greg Taylor.
No, that's 100%. It's the same as Ralston, right? I still don't think Ralston's going to be the number 1 for Celtic. He is a steady Eddie number 2, number 3 choice. Same as Scotland. But the only reason people might go, Ryan, you were chatting about for him to play with Scotland. Yes, because at the time he was playing at right back for the first 2 games of the season. Yeah. He was doing well, but yet he wasn't getting a call up. That's what I'm saying. I want guys who are on form to be playing. Doesn't matter if they're Rangers players, Aberdeen players. Obviously, Aberdeen players might give or take, right? But if a Rangers guys like Ryan Jack, I know we're going to have to talk about a wee bit here, right? But if Ryan Jack's on form and he's doing well for Rangers, he should be missed for Scotland because he's playing in the Champions League. But if a guy who's on form with Aberdeen, he's only playing in the SPL. That's what I'm trying to say here. So, but in terms of us, mate, for the weekend, guys like Aaron Moy could come in and play. James, I don't think James Murphy will play, but if guys are injured, you can trust him to come in. This is only me going on injuries. If Maeda and Abada and that couldn't play, I think of Joe Hart will be in goals. Juranovic will play. The defence packs itself. Taylor, Welsh, obviously Jens. I think the middle three is going to be McGregor, O'Reilly, Hatate. I think Forrest might get a sniff. So I'm going to say Forrest and Jota with Kyle go up front. I think Forrest, this might be his chance to get a game. Because Hasebanovic seems injured. Again, we can only go by what we think. We don't know about the press or we don't know what he's going to come out and say, who's fit and who's no fit. But I think Forrest might get a sniff because he's probably due a game in terms of what Ange says he will get his opportunity. So I think Forrest might get a sniff with Jota, and I think Kyogo will play because Giakoumakis seems it might not be fit. So I think maybe only 1 or 2 changes, mate. I think even though there you go, right? We're talking about injuries. What injuries? You've still got Kyogo, you've still got Jota, you've still got a Scottish experienced international who's played it as much as I might not rate him anyway. Forrest still to come in and play. Your midfield's the same. Apart from Stephen Welsh, it's just about a full fit squad. In terms of quality coming in, so it just shows you, mate, that you ever take guys might come injured, they might not be saying quality, but I've just told you a quality team.
Yeah.
Again, I know Welsh isn't the top draw, but that should be enough to go and beat Motherwell at home. Don't know what you think, mate, but again, you still got quality on the bench. Aaron Boyd can come in, McCarthy. So I would say that would be my team. I think that Ange might pick because barring injuries, I think obviously Hasebanovic or Abada might have would play, but this could be maybe a game for Forest to get a sniff if they guys only fully fit.
Yeah, in terms of the team myself, Ryan, I think it'll be Hart. I think Juranovic will play. I think it's obviously going to be Welsh and Jens. I actually think we could see Bernaby, mate. I potentially think we could see Bernaby, only for the fact that he's not a lot of games. And he's probably been doing really, really well in terms of working hard behind the scenes.
And to be fair, Posh, I've got Leipzig next week to get this Taylor. That's a good shout.
So, and with that game in mind, I think you could see Bernaby coming in. I potentially think you could see McGregor. It'll probably be McGregor, O'Reilly and Hatate. I'd imagine that's going to be the midfield 3. Jota will be one of them. I've got a feeling Hasebanovic will start and it won't be Forrest. I think Hasebanovic will play and I think Kyogo will be through the middle. So you're saying you've got injuries there and I've just rounded off. I know we're having a laugh about this, but it's my only doubt there's you're going into Wednesday night, so if that's going to be still your selection process, my big fear for that is obviously Stephen Welsh, but that's we'll come in that obviously in the next one. I think the team probably picks itself if they're off fully fit, to be honest with you, Ryan. But I do think that's my thinking. What you just said there about obviously you've got a chance to give Taylor a bit of rest time. He's trained well with Scotland, played in a couple of the games. And then obviously you could play Bernaby, who's going to be fresh. He's not a lot of games, same as Forrest. You think Forrest will play? I think Forrest will play a part. I also think Abelgard will make his debut at the weekend as well. I think you'll see him at some point. I do think he'll come in. Don't think David Turnbull will be there. He's been sent in with Scotland, so there's no way. Because again, we've known Steve Clarke previously. He gets sent in at Ryan Fraser, sent him with Scotland, and then he was training with Newcastle, and I think he was in the back burner for a wee while and burnt his bridges with Steve Clarke there. So I don't think Turnbull will be anywhere to be seen. I think Giakoumakis will be okay, but I think he'll be on the bench. Again, I think Maeda might be okay, but again, I think he'll be on the bench. But again, we'll need to wait and see what Ange obviously says in his pre-match. Overall, mate, I'm looking forward to you. I'm looking forward to the game.
Just to last wee bit before you end it, mate. That's what I say to you. See, thinking back now, obviously we don't know about injuries, international breaks. This would the ball have been the game to make the changes.
Yes.
Doris at Mirren game.
No.
That obviously will be Leipzig coming up.
No, and I think Ange appreciates that now, and I think he understands it, you know. It's
just when I'm sitting thinking here and you were talking about Bernaby, I thought this could be a game. I'm not saying make 7 and 8 changes or 6 changes, but this one might be a game at home to maybe change a few guys.
Yeah, test the water with the red with the squad. No, perfect.
Again,
I totally agree.
Hindsight's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
No, it is definitely. But if Carlsberg did football selections and team selections, it'd be the best in the world. But No, like I said, mate, it's been really great chatting to you again. If any of our listeners or viewers like the content, please hit subscribe on my YouTube page. You'll find myself and Ryan on there, and you will find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. I'm now on TikTok myself. My page is finally up and running after a few technical difficulties. I think if it wasn't for Ryan, it would might be a technical knockout instead of a technical difficulty. But no, as I say, appreciate you coming on again tonight, mate, and it's been a pleasure chatting to you. As I say, looking forward to Saturday, looking forward to being in at Celtic Park again, Paradise as we call it. And a massive hail to you for tonight, mate. Cheers again.
Hail, mate. Take care. Money Celtic.
Money Celtics.